My name is Jayden Edwards, and this is the application I've created, the US Fiscal Dashboard, or the US Fiscal Intelligence Terminal. Now, the purpose for creating this application was to inform people who are not necessarily experts in economics or finance and wanted to understand the government's economics. And this application, it simplifies information so that an everyday person could understand it. There are some similar websites that have information about US government's economics and financial decisions, but it's hard to interpret it usually, so this one, or my application, simplifies that process. Now, this is a live national debt taker, which increases approximately by this number, which changes over time. This is the debt per citizen, debt to GDP ratio, and average interest rate. And all these things are linked to an API or a website, which is the usdebtclock.com. And it's constantly being updated with new information. As you can see, the fiscal velocity and the annual budget and debt to GDP trend, all these different things change and the KPIs change. You have the interest versus inflation, so the total debt that the US government has, and then the estimated GDP. And as you can see, we have a lot more debt than we do GDP, which means it's a negative. You can also see the 10-year projection of the estimated debt based off these three presets, which is conservative, standard, and aggressive. These all show if the debt increased by this percentage, it would change relative to this number. So conservative, of course, it would go up at a slower rate, you could see each year. And then aggressive is 9%, which is a lot higher, and you can see it's more steep in its increase, and it increases to, of course, higher projected debt. Now, one of my last features that I have is the Fiscal AI Assistant. So you can ask it to help you interpret things that you might not understand on the screen. So if I wanted to ask, what does the debt to GDP ratio represent? It tells you the debt to GDP ratio is a key indicator that compares a country's total public debt to its gross domestic product. So it explains to you briefly what this term debt to GDP ratio means.